Good morning and welcome to Coffee and Crafts with Madam K. So this morning we're going to stitch together this wallet that I made. Very cute little wallet that I made using the wooden cutouts that I cut using the Epilog laser cutter and then ran it through my embossing tool and then just used that as a pattern to paint it. So a couple things before we get started to stitch, a few things to do to prepare the wallet for stitching is, first of all, I glued the pieces in place so they're nicely stuck in place, so I'm not gonna have to worry about holding them there. What I used for that is some tape. It's double-sided tape that I got from Tandy Leather. So you cut a piece off, you stick it where you need to, you peel off the top piece, and you glue the pieces together. That's a good solid permanent bond. Permanent in the way that I wouldn't just use it and not stitch this together. If I pull hard enough, they're going to come apart. But it's going to hold it really nicely while I'm stitching. The other thing is then I stamped the holes. So a couple pointers on that is there's a lot of tools that you can use to punch the holes in your leather before you start stitching. Notice how these have a diamond shape to them. That's going to really help hold the thread in place. So that's using this craft tool, diamond tipped chisel. It's tool number 88044, that's the model number, -02, which means it has 2 prongs. I just bought another one that's -06 because I want the 6 prongs. It'll really speed up the process. And it's a 2mm, which means that there's 2mm between the tips of the diamonds, between the tips of the prongs. Another option could have been this one, which actually punches the hole into the leather, which is really easy to use, really quick, and makes a much bigger hole, so it makes stitching a lot easier. It cuts out something like this. But you can see the holes a lot better unless you use a much thicker thread, and it doesn't hold them in place, hold the thread in place. So, so what I mean by that is, notice this example here. These are done with the hole punch, and you can see the gap in the hole there. And it also has a lot more space between the holes. And then these are done with the diamond punch. It just holds them very tightly in place, and it's much smaller stitching. So I think that we're going to get a much sleeker, tight design with the diamond stitching than with this one. But if you're looking for speed and something that looks pretty good still, but quick to do, the holes might be better. It's really important to make sure you use the right size. I made this one, for example, this wallet the other day. I'm going to stitch a similar design like that. And I really like it. It turned out great, but I used a diamond punch where the prongs were slightly smaller than this. And for the wax thread that I'm using, it's a little bit thicker. So it was really hard to pull that thread through the holes. So every time I did a stitch, I had to really pull the needles and sometimes even use pliers. Just having to do that over and over and over again made this take about 3 hours to stitch. So I'm trying to speed up that process a little bit by using the larger punch. So notice that I outlined the entire front and around the edge in the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here. I'm going to stitch across there, down and around the back, and then down the center. So this way I should have one solid line. Okay, so I want to do just a series of quick tutorial videos. So that's the video on prepping the leather and getting ready to sew it. So tune in for the next video where we'll actually start stitching it and look at some techniques to make sure we have a nice, sleek, smooth line in our stitch. Thanks for tuning in to Crafting with Madam K. Check out the next video and make sure to subscribe to my channel.